in the life of this world, it inevitably happens that we face experiences from others which are unpleasant and which make us bitter. There is no escape from these incidents. There is no escape from this kind of a life. So it is important to understand that if we have the mindset of eliminating negative experiences from our life, and if we lay down the condition that as long as we keep facing negative experiences, we will remain negative, then we should know that we will throughout lead our lives with negativity. We must know that we cannot completely remove negative elements, negative experiences from our life. We should not lay down the condition or have this prerequisite that positivity or our positive attitude to people depends upon the fact that they should not be negative for us. The principle which we have to bear in mind is that we have to be positive in spite of all the negativity that we face from people. We have to convert moments of negativity into moments of positivity. And we do have examples from the life of the Prophet, peace be upon him, that help us in understanding what is the meaning of this conversion of negativity into positivity. The Prophet, peace be upon him, also faced many negative experiences from people. He had a life wherein he had to endure a lot of hardship, a lot of atrocities, and even persecution from people. And there is an example of how, when he was in a very powerful state, in a very powerful position, he was the head of his city-state, and a person came up to him and behaved very rudely with him. The Prophet had taken some loan from this person, and before he returned this loan to this person, he came to demand it back from the Prophet. And in demanding his loan, demanding the money that he had lent to the Prophet, this man was very harsh and behaved in a very rude manner, to the extent that he said something very contemptuous even about the Prophet's family. So this behavior of this person was very unpleasant and extremely unacceptable. But we see that the Prophet converted this negative experience which he faced from the other person into a positive experience. The Prophet could have given a negative response. He could have said, "Why are you behaving with me in a wrong way? You can also demand back your money which you have lent to me in a courteous way. And why are you speaking about my family? Why are you referring to my family and bringing my family in the matter? You should speak to me and restrict the matter to the two of us." The Prophet did not say any such thing. On the contrary, the Prophet forbade his companions from saying anything harsh to this man, and the Prophet gave us a very important piece of advice, a very important counsel. He said that this person who is demanding his money back from me is fully within his right. He is fully within his rights to ask for his money which he lent to me. And therefore, the Prophet did not say anything to him. According to the Prophet, that man had given some money to the Prophet, and therefore when he came to the Prophet, when he approached the Prophet and demanded his money back, the Prophet said that he is fully within his rights. What he is doing is absolutely justifiable. What he is doing is not wrong. He has a right over me, and that right is to ask for his money back. So here we see that the Prophet did not give any consideration to the fact that this man spoke rudely. He was harsh. His words were severe and totally derisive. The Prophet did not focus on this. The Prophet only focused on the fact that this man was completely within his rights to demand his money back. So the Prophet gave concession to this person. He gave consideration to that person's feelings. He did not give consideration to his feelings, to the fact that he was spoken rudely and he was spoken in a way that was rough and not acceptable. And this was his way of converting his negativity into positivity. So here we see that if any such occasion arises wherein we face bad behavior from people, we can always give a negative response. We can always become negative for that person for the rest of our life. But to convert that negativity into positivity is our task. We have to find such an explanation, or we have to come up with such an explanation that helps us in retaining our positive frame of mind. So being positive for people is a task which you have to do yourself. Nobody will behave with you positively so that you remain positive. People will do things to you which are negative, which will offend you, which will make you feel absolutely bitter about them. But in order to be positive, you have to make an effort yourself. You have to convert your negative experience into a positive experience. You have to give a positive explanation to the negative experience that you face.